I ask you, internet friends, what could possibly go wrong with this plan? Absolutely nothing, that's what. I wanted to get out of town before I filmed that, you know, like you driving around without any pants on in a shitty old truck with a farm tags and a wooden ladder rack on it. You can't be getting out with a camera on your head. People might think you're weird or something. And that is a pretty able ditch over here on the right. I'm hoping I don't have to dig it out very much. I've got a 12-inch pipe. I'm hoping it'll just drop in there and I won't have to fuck around. Guess we'll find out. Oh, don't roll down the hill, saw. I don't want to fix you again. What kind of tree is that? Some kind of fucking dogwood or something? Hit me in the face. I'll hit you back, tree. That'll do. I tried to pull that bastard out by hand and he was heavy. Shit ass. That's hardwood. Well, that's a pretty able mess right there. All right, clean up some of the smaller shit on the way back down. Bring my thermos and my gas back up here. Get me hydrated. Man, the way this road's graded, it's gonna be annoying. I don't think I can move this whole hump out of here. I think what I'm gonna have to do is put a diagonal water break here, kinda starting at the saw and going down there to maybe about where that tree is, to force the water that runs off the top down into a ditch down this side, right? And that ditch will continue down here most of the way, but when we get down here almost to the road, the grade switches the other direction, and I'm gonna have to put in another water break to get the shit to go across instead of eroding the road out all the way down to the main road, I think. Let's go down here and look where it switches over. But yeah, there's no way, especially with some of these big ass trees, there's no way I can grade this off. I'd have to bring in a bunch of fill to grade the road this way, and I don't have a truck that big anymore. I gave it all to my sister so I didn't have to be mad about the way the farm shit turned out. After my old man croaked. Well, I guess it stays sloped to the left most of the way down there. I don't know what I'm going to do down here at the end though. That's a giant rock that tree is growing up through. What I need to do is fix the road so it swings out here a little further, and then I can go straight down into here. This hump's gonna have to come off, but that's fine because I'm gonna need some fill dirt anyway. See, I can swing good and wide right there and hit this about straight, but I'm gonna have to have a little of this hump off for when I'm pulling a trailer around here and trying to make this turn, I think. I think it'll be all right though. By all rights, I ought to just get another 20-foot section of pipe and put 40 feet in. Then I won't have to worry about driving on the end of it when I'm cutting it too wide. But that shit's like $270 for a 20-foot section of that 12-inch. Shit. I don't know. I got some time to think about it. Got to get the tractor up here too. Might not make it up here by dark with the tractor. Have to come back tomorrow. I'm gonna have to get this shit out of the ditch here too. Well, nobody came by and stole my beer yet, but this is the wrong kind of work to be drinking beer for. That bastard hadn't been down too long. Well, it'd probably be worth burning. Most of those tops are junk though. Let's see. Go around and start at the uphill side. And I won't have anything rolling on top of me. That old snag right there is gonna have to go. That motherfucker. Yeah, that's a little bit of a mess. How much of this you think I can cut on my head? I think that thing's gonna roll when I cut that. I believe it might. Nope. Oh, you motherfucker. You run out of gas. Nope. Curious. I believe I need to get rid of some of this shit before I continue. Where shall I pilot? get rid of some more of this shit. Well, the sun's starting to get low in the sky. My head camera battery is dead. All of the junk is pretty much cleaned up for the most part, other than this twisted up snag bullshit. Didn't get as much good small firewood out of it as I hoped, but you know, there's a lot more where that came from. This whole big bastard that fell out of is excuse me, gonna have to come down at some point, but I don't want to do that till I have the tractor around. I think I might save the rest of that bastard for when the tractor's around too, especially considering that my battery's about dead. So I'm just going to clean up the rest of the small junk the rest of the way to the top here, and then we'll be back up here tomorrow and clean down the other side of the road so I can get the tractor up here through the back, and we'll be ready to rumble. Now, my plan to begin with is I might change my plan, I don't know, was to just get one 20-foot cargo container to drag up here to keep my tools and stuff in. And then if I accidentally cut something on it, I'd only be out of one instead of two, you know what I'm saying? But eventually I want to put two 20-foot cargo containers next to each other with 32 feet in between them. Or, yeah, I think, no, 24 feet between them. And then either put two 20-foot or one 40-foot behind it, so it's like three walls, you know, and then put a roof over top of it. And then I'll put the solar panels on the roof. But I'm gonna have to clean out a lot of these trees to do that. And some of them are pretty small, and it's always a little breezy up here. So I cannot be exactly sure which way the bastards are gonna fall. So I think what I'm gonna do is drag that thing up here and just push it off down this piece of road here a little ways, as far as it'll go, and jack up the back and put some blocking underneath of it so it's relatively level. And then hopefully if something does fall in this direction, it'll get caught up in some of this other shit and not smash my stuff up, because there isn't really anywhere else level enough where I'm not going to be cutting a bunch of stuff. I don't know quite what to do. And then this is the road that I'll have to bring the tractor up. I think it was clear the last time I walked it. It's pretty narrow though. Now there just isn't any better place to put that cargo container. But I don't want to have to drag my shit back and forth every fucking time I come up here. Yeah, there's just, it's not enough room to push it back in here, I don't think. Yeah, it's going to have to go on top. I just don't think there's any other way about it. Although I guess it doesn't have to be level just to keep tools in. As long as the door is facing downhill, the water should stay out of it, right? I could just drag it up the road and just kind of drag it here below these rocks after I cut that big bastard. And then anything that fell that way might hit those rocks first, not tear them up. I don't know. That's going to be a hell of a job clearing that patch out up there. I don't even know what to think about that. I don't want any of this shit blowing down on my stuff, so I'm going to have to clear out a pretty big circle around where I'm going to put this stuff. I mean, I'm going to have to clear out all of that right there and all this stuff and back to there or something, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to finish up this little stuff and hit the road. See you tomorrow.